Hi, Sam Roberts here for ProRaster Scientific. ProRaster Scientific version 2.5.01 has been released and is in store. And the major feature in this release is contouring, so let's just take a quick look at it. So here's ProRaster Scientific. If I drop down the open menu button, there's a new option for a new contour algorithm. And then I choose the raster that I want to contour. In this case, I'm going to contour Glow 30, which is a global raster at 30-meter resolution. And what it will do is, by default, is it will create an imagery layer for that raster and then a contour layer for that raster. And the contours are displaying on top of your color imagery. You can also add a contour layer directly to your existing algorithms. Just move them to the top of the tree so that they display on top of your other imagery, and you can take full control. So this capability uses both your CPU and your GPU to render contours for rasters of unlimited size at any scale in real time. So, for example, if we zoom in on Hawaii, you can see that as we zoom in, you get your contours re-rendered, reflecting the detail of the raster at that scale as you zoom in. So the contours feature minor and major contour lines with different styles. The major contour lines can be labelled, and you can see the contour labels here, and the minor contour lines can be dropped out when they're high density. So let's just take a look at that. Come into the contour layer, and in the properties you'll find the levels page and the labels page. So let's turn off automatic spacing, and I'll make a manual contour spacing of 10 meters and a major contour step of 10, so that I've got a major contour every 100 meters and a minor contour every 10 meters. Now as I zoom out, you'll see that the minor contours drop out as the density increases, and so you're only seeing the major contour lines which never drop out. So that's a dropout feature. For contour labels, you can see that the contour line is not rendered through the label, so we're masking out the label from the rendering, and so you get a nice readable label. Your labels can you can modify the density of the labels, the size of your labels, the color of the labels, and everything else, and and you can also completely manually define your contours. Let's take a look at a couple of examples. So here's a contour algorithm where I've set the color table to match the contour levels, so you get constant color between contours, and you get that kind of nice effect. You can of course display your contours in 3D, so here's that same algorithm displayed in 3D. So there's our terrain, and you can define contours manually. So let me bring up the algorithm for manual contour lines. Bring it up. So in here in the levels page, I've ticked this manual contour levels, and I've chosen this file. So this defines a set of contour lines completely manually. And in this case, we're looking at Mount Everest, and I've got manual contour lines defined for all the other 8,000 plus meter peaks. So as you're going up the ridge of Mount Everest, you'll pass through, Makalu, Lhotse, and then K2 and so forth before you get to the peak. So you can see that in this case I've controlled both the color of the contour lines, the thickness of the contour lines, the color of the labels, the transparency of lines and labels, and the label itself, all completely manually. So you have that level of control if you wish. A couple of other features in version 2.5.01. So there are new options for loading rasters directly out of compressed archives and directly from the cloud. So let's just take a quick look at that. So I'm going to create a new algorithm for a raster from an archive. I'll just copy the string in. So here's my archive. You can see that I have a path, I have the zip file in this case, and then the file that's inside the zip file. Now we support zip, gzip, tar, 7zip and rar, and this is all via the GDAL virtual file system mechanism. So hit OK, and it will open that raster directly out of that zip file without decompressing the archive. You can do a similar thing for URLs. So I'll bring in a different URL here, copy this string in. So I'm going to access a Landsat file which is sitting on AWS S3 bucket. Put in that URL. So that contains the bucket name as well as the key name, which is a cloud optimized GeoTIFF. Hit OK, and it will display that raster as long as you have your AWS credentials defined. Of course, you need your credentials to access those data sets, although there are other rasters that are on the cloud that you won't need those credentials for, and you can just download them directly or visualize them directly. So there's that Landsat data, just a particular band displayed directly from the cloud. So they're the features that are new in ProRaster Scientific version 2.5.01.